Home to some absolutely top tier dialogue, as well as a pretty unique place to explore with a lot of hidden stories and lore, Old World Blues has been my favorite DLC in Fallout New Vegas since I started playing through any of the DLCs. I didn't play the DLCs right on release, as I didn't actually have a console at that time, but I had played the base game plenty, and picked up the DLCs almost immediately as soon as I had access. So, in honor of that, today I'm gonna ask if you can beat Old World Blues with only the 9mm pistol. Going back and finding my 9mm character was pretty entertaining, as I was stuck in Yes Man for a solid couple seconds. Still not entirely sure how that happened, but on my way out to go stock up on supplies, I figured booping a Securitron in the head with a bullet was a proper idea. After that, I headed off to the Gunrunners so that I could stock up on ammo as well as necessary items for repairs. That just being, other 9mm pistols. I also decided that I was gonna just slaughter some civilians here because free items and free caps sounded pretty damn good to me. The Gunrunner guards actually put up a decent fight. I kind of forgot how weak the 9mm pistol is compared to combat armor, but that didn't stop me from killing more civilians so that I could grab their shit off their bodies. I'm not entirely sure why I decided to just go on another killing spree as soon as I got back into the Mojave, but you know what, we're gonna ignore that and move on. I went off to Chet to do some more restocking since I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of stim packs and ammo for the DLC, because I recall Old World Blues being pretty decently hard, regardless of what level you're at. And then the game crashed, because of course it did. Although I did manage to fix my texture bug from the last run. The ceiling was no longer caving in on itself, which to me was fairly nice to look at. After that, I spent some time killing some random geckos. I also saved the lovely radroach that's usually destined to die to a gecko, but then he bit me, so I killed him myself, and moved on to deal with a group of NCR mercenaries that were just slaughtering a group of raiders. I'm not entirely sure what this is. I've never seen this before. I'm just gonna chalk it up to being from a mod, because if I don't know what it is, it's probably from a mod. I also killed a couple more civilians once I'd made it to the theater. Almost got assaulted by a Legion hit squad on the way there, but I let the NCR mercenaries deal with that so that I wouldn't have to. I also subsequently forgot that you have to be at nighttime to start Old World Blues, which was kind of annoying, but you know what, I just had to wait a little bit. It was fine. We're just gonna ignore the fact that I forgot. Anyways, once I had finally gotten to the DLC and was able to start it, we can begin the run. I did spend a little bit of time, dicking around in the Mojave before coming here to start the DLC, but I wanted to make sure that I was subsequently prepared. And it was time to start one of the longest strings of dialogue in the entire game. It may be a long string of dialogue, but to me, it's not really that annoying, since I haven't played through Old World Blues in probably 2 years, and it being, my favorite DLC, I was just happy to be able to kind of sit through the dialogue and chuckle to myself a little bit with how they wrote a lot of the interactions with the think tank. It's funny, I enjoy it. So, I'm sure it'll be more annoying on subsequent playthroughs, considering I'll have to click through a shit ton of dialogue, or I can just skip it, which I forgot about. You can just press the button that says, hey, there's something on the monitor, and then Dr. Mobius appears, and bam, you're done with all the dialogue. After that, I headed off to the sink to pick up some more supplies. Not entirely sure what I picked up here, there wasn't a whole lot that would assist me, and I headed outside and immediately got assaulted by a bunch of monstrosities. I forgot just how annoying this place was with enemies. We have Night Stalkers, we have Rex's steroided out cousin, and we have the lobotomites, the Robo Scorpions. We'll get to those later, but for now, I had just gotten done assaulting a bunch of Night Stalkers and headed off to X13 so that I could retrieve the stealth suit, which is one of my favorite pieces of armor in the game. I absolutely love that thing. And then started the residential test to get the stealth suit, completed and upgraded, and I needed the schematic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I failed this a couple times, which we're gonna ignore, but the great thing about failing it is the robots don't despawn, so you can just kill all of the robots and then start the test again, and for the most part, they don't respawn, which means that you can get through this fairly easily. Nothing after that was really challenging in X13, except for the fact that I had to then deal with Robo Scorpions, which are insanely hard to kill with a 9mm pistol. Even using the P rounds, which are supposed to be the equivalent of armor piercing for the 9mm pistol, it still took way too many bullets to take down most of the Robo Scorpions, so I just, booked it out of X13. I can deal with the Robo Scorpions later. Besides, I need to save my ammo for the big boy. Running along the pipes nearly ended up with me blowing my limbs off because I forgot that there were a shit ton of mines scattered up there. I did actually end up blowing myself up a couple times, and then I got scared because a Y-17 trauma override harness just scared the shit out of me by running at me from nowhere. It had a flamer though, so it wasn't too bad. I then got into a fight with a group of lobotomites, which were not that easy to deal with for the most part. I kind of forgot how hard everything hits in this DLC. Also, I, at this point, remembered that I was only like level 12, and none of my Lonesome Road progress saved over from that video, which made this kind of more annoying to go through, because I believe Old World Blues is recommended for level 20. I was half of that when I started, which means that I was pretty underskilled for a lot of things. I didn't have lockpicking, I didn't have science, I didn't even have medicine really upgraded. The only two skills that I had decently upgraded or maxed out were guns and speech. Speech doesn't really help you in Old World Blues, while the other skills subsequently would have been much better. So, ignoring that and just powering through with the copious amounts of ammo that I had discovered, and by discovered I mean hoarded from, the base game, I went over and started killing Gabe. He was a pushover, complete pushover. Although I did get a nice little helmet from him and an LAER, which is my favorite energy weapon in the game, besides maybe the unique Gauss rifle. I then stole a big dildo off the top of a tower and decided that, again, I was not going to fight the Robo Scorpions, so I booked it out to the suicide net so that they would catch me and send me back to work. After that was done, I had to talk to the think tank once again, which, oh boy, there was a speech check for a little bit of XP, but I got that all done and told them that I had found all of the, random shit that they left in their facilities, and headed off towards the Forbidden Zone. Not a whole lot happened on the way out there, other than me just getting into a fight with some lobotomites, as well as ignoring some more Robo Scorpions, because I don't feel like dealing with them yet. This is why I had to deal with the giant Robo Scorpion, which, holy shit, irradiated the shit out of me, and I really should have stocked up on anti-rad supplies. I think I had 2 Rad-X and 2 Radaway going into this, including the one that I picked up on the table. I did find a spot where I could sit in the back and continue to shoot it without taking any radiation damage. I did 11 damage per bullet with this thing, which meant that I had to sit here and waste over 100 bullets from start to finish on one single enemy. And considering now the Robo Scorpions that are here have around 500 HP, which is about a third of the HP of the giant Robo Scorpion, with roughly the same damage resistance, there is no way in hell I am bothering to deal with all the Robo Scorpions, especially since I accidentally picked the dialogue options that make me kill Dr. Mobius. Normally I don't kill him because he's actually one of my favorite NPCs in Old World Blues, and I like leaving him alive, so I kind of made a mistake there, and I wasn't willing to really reload a save and fight the giant Robo Scorpion again, so I ignored all the little Robo Scorpions and just went off to talk to my brain. This is honestly one of the best dialogue interactions for me. It's just funny as hell that you're having to try to convince your brain to get back in your body and it's complaining. But once I solved that, I went and stole a metric ton of mentats, which I never actually used. I just hoard them because I have to. It's a Fallout game. I'm obligated to pick as many things up as I possibly can. Anyways, off to murdering the think tank, which was about as easy as you expect. They didn't even really put up a fight. I don't think I even took damage during this fight, which actually that makes me kind of want to do a damageless Old World Blues run. That might be a good idea later on. Anyways, Dr. Klein was subsequently the last one to go down, which meant that I had now beaten Old World Blues with only a 9mm pistol. Sorry this video is a little bit on the shorter side. I really didn't feel like doing any of the side content in Old World Blues to start with. I kind of saved that for my own playthroughs. But if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on the video, comment any suggestions that you may have for future challenge runs, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all very much for the support, and I should be back on a good schedule now. So I appreciate you guys kind of hanging out and being patient waiting for me while I took a little break to stream. This run was not streamed, I just did this for, YouTube. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.